Alright, it's time to learn how to play Mina. Let's get right into it. We'll be starting with her abilities. Her first skill, Rake, does damage in a cone in front of you. Very straightforward. It heals you when you get a kill with it, and this does not have to be a hero kill. You also get healed if you kill troopers or neutrals with it, and this can be very useful if you're low and you need to heal really quick. Also, it deals more damage the less HP your targets have, so it's more effective at the end of a combo rather than at the start. Her second skill is Sanguine Retreat, and it's a mid-range teleport that essentially makes you not exist for its duration. It can be recast within a few seconds of using it, and this becomes 2 recasts when you upgrade it to level 3. One of the most important aspects of this skill is that it can be used to dodge and negate basically any ability in the game, like Bebop's Hook and Bombs, and 7 Stun, and a bunch of other stuff. You can also use it to dodge items like Knockdown. Additionally, despite its name, you can use it for things other than retreating. In some situations, you can also use it quite aggressively to chase, dodge, and reposition in the middle of combat. Her third skill, Love Bites, is a central part of her kit. It builds up through various ways, but you'll most commonly build it through shooting enemies. When it fills up, it deals a huge burst of spirit damage and goes on a cooldown. This cooldown is per target, so you can proc it on multiple targets within a short amount of time. Aside from her bullets, she can also build Love Bites through her first skill, Rake, and her ultimate. Speaking of her ultimate, Nox Nostra, it releases bats in a large cone in front of you. These bats automatically target enemies within their range and deal damage to them while also silencing them. Once again, these bats can also build and proc her passive. You can use her 2 while ulting in case you need to reposition or dodge certain items and abilities. Important thing to note is that the bats are distributed across all valid targets in its range, so it'll actually deal less damage per target the more of them there are. Also, every time you proc Love Bites, the number of bats released by her ultimate increases by 2 for the entire match. Okay, now let's talk about her playstyle. She's a very squishy hero, having the lowest base HP in the game as of the making of this video, but she does very formidable damage, especially in the early to mid game. In the laning phase, you'll want to make use of her damage to poke out opponents and prevent them from getting too aggressive. Your first ability unlock is always your 3, that is Love Bites. Try to proc it as much as possible. You can do this by shooting opponents from mid-range, but you can also quickly get up in their faces to proc it faster, then head back over to your side of the lane. This is especially made easier once you have her 1 and 2. Generally, your combo in the early game will be empty your gun into them to proc your 3, then hit them with your 1 before quickly retreating with your 2. Now, how do we use her ult well? It can usually be used in 2 ways. One is to almost guarantee a quick kill on a particular opponent. You'll have to keep line of sight on them for the duration of her ult to make the most of it, so this works best in open areas without much cover. Sometimes they won't be dead yet by the time the ult ends, and you'll have to finish them off with a quick 1, but generally they will be quite low if you manage to land most of your bats on them. The other way to use her ult is to mass silence the enemy team. This is the more supportive way to use it, and it'll mostly be in situations like helping your allies retreat or making sure your opponents can't use their abilities in a huge team fight. As I mentioned earlier, Mina's ult's damage is distributed across all targets, so it's quite unlikely you'll get a kill this way without some follow-up attacks. In general, her playstyle consists of darting in and out of combat to deal your damage bursts while remaining mobile and using your movement to stay alive. Also, Mina wants to use her gun a lot. Despite her mostly relying on her abilities to do damage, she'll still want to shoot opponents, mostly to proc her 3 and whatever items she has. Speaking of items, let's discuss her build now. In the early game, you'll want to buy a bunch of spirit items and rush your 4.8k spirit investment spike. Your first item will usually be extra spirit followed by mystic burst, then quicksilver reload, and spirit sap. After this, you'll want to buy extra stamina since Mina really wants to be moving around a lot and she starts out with only 2 stamina. However, if you're finding that you need to move around a lot more, you can buy extra stamina before Quicksilver Reload. I like taking rapid rounds here to help her proc Love Bites faster, then Stamina Mastery and Swift Striker. From here, there are a variety of ways you can go. I tend to rush Tank Buster, but you can also take Toxic Bullet, Dispel Magic, Spirit Resilience, or any defensives or utility you might need at this point. Dispel Magic is particularly important if your opponents buy items like Slowing Hex. Of course, you could have taken defensives earlier if needed, but this is generally the time I buy them. You'll need to use your brain to decide. After Tank Buster and any utility and defensives, however, you'll want to grab Boundless Spirit. This is your largest power spike in terms of items, and you'll usually want to make good use of it by taking fights after buying it. Then I typically tend to go for the cooldown reduction items right after this, that is, Compressed Cooldown, Superior Cooldown, all the way to Transcendent Cooldown. Beyond this, you have a lot of options. I think Spirit Burn is a great buy in most scenarios, though you can also go for Spellbreaker first if the enemy team has a lot of Spirit Nuke heroes like yourself. I like buying Mercurial Magnum and Spirit Rend as well for offensives, and Ethereal Shift is also really good for survivability. Cheat Death, Arctic Blast, Focus Lens, and other such items are also great. Anyway, that's generally how you play Mina. I hope I gave you a good idea of her playstyle and how she wants to approach fights and the game in general. Do hit the like button and leave a comment if this helped you. I'll be making more Deadlock content, so if you want to see more of that, definitely do hit the subscribe button as well. I'll be seeing you soon.